Singapore shines a light on gold's next chapter. Gold may be a global asset, but the way investors view it can vary significantly depending on where they are in the world. While many Western markets have been focused on gold's recent price weakness and when sentiment might turn, Singapore offered a different perspective. At this year's Asia Pacific Precious Metals Conference, the focus was on continued demand, long term confidence, and Asia's enduring appetite for physical gold. Greetings, greetings, my people, and indeed a very warm welcome to each and every single one of you. Yet again, my name is Biwari Kikum Staka NZ, and you guys are highly welcome to another precious metals market update edition. All right, this time around, we are in Singapore, and yes, there is a different view of gold in that part of the world. And yes, let's get straight into it. The ninth edition of the Singapore Bullion Market Association's flagship conference brought together more than 800 delegates from across the world, and yes, from across the global precious metals industry. A 25% increase on the previous year, reflecting the growing influence of Asia in the gold market. But it was the sentiment that stood out. While gold is often discussed in Western markets as a response to uncertainty, conversations in Singapore were focused on something different: long term confidence. Investors and industry leaders spoke about gold's role in preserving wealth, diversifying portfolios, and passing value between generations. Stephen Griffin, Business Development Manager at the Royal Mint UK, he said, and these are his quotes. All right, he said, the confidence in gold across Southeast Asia was striking. The conversations were focused on the long term role of physical gold and the continued appetite for investors in the region. It was clear that many investors continue to see precious metals as a growing and important part of their financial future. So the statement or the quote ends there by Stephen Griffin, who is the business development manager at the Royal Mint UK. All right, let's look at Singapore's ambitions, which goes beyond trading. And yes, the optimism around gold was matched by Singapore's ambitions for the precious metal itself. During the conference, discussions frequently turned to Singapore's plans to establish itself as a leading gold trading hub for Asia. The country is investing in the foundations needed to support a larger bullion market, including trading infrastructure, clearing systems, vaulting, and logistics. The message was clear. Singapore is not simply benefiting from rising interest in gold, but it is positioning itself to play a bigger role in how gold is traded, stored, and managed across the globe. And yes, for the Australasia investors, this is an important development. The global gold market is evolving, and with Asian markets becoming increasingly influential in shaping how investors value, store, and access precious metals. And yes, Asia's role in gold's next chapter for us to conclude this particular edition of the precious metals news updates. And yes, the conversations in Singapore offered a different perspective on the gold future. Yes, the future of gold itself. While markets in the West continue to debate the short term outlook, The message from Singapore was one of continued demand and long term conviction. The next chapter of gold story will be shaped globally, but Singapore showed that Asia will play an increasingly powerful role. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you guys once again for tuning in into my usual precious metals market update. And yes, this is my update for this week for those of you who attended the conference in Singapore. But anyways, please hit that like button. It is food for the YouTube. I'll go and yes, subscribe if you are new. We do all things precious metal, more into the physical showcasing of the numismatic products. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next precious metals news update. Thank you very much.